Welcome in to this edition of Great City Attractions. Today we tour the second city of Greece. These are the great city attractions of Thessaloniki. White Tower, a major landmark which has had many names throughout its history. The imposing turrets here once formed part of the city's defensive walls, while the interior of the building was used as a prison and space of executions during the Ottoman period. Indeed, the fort went by the name of the Red Tower for some time, relating to its history of bloodshed. A popular history museum is now stationed within the building itself, tracing the history of the city it once defended. Yedi Kule, a fortress dominating the city from above. Yedi Kule, its Turkish Ottoman name, has served numerous purposes. The ancient Greek name of the fort pays homage to the fort's 7 towers, although some 10 are present. A stronghold of the Byzantines and Ottomans, the fort has also been used as a military command centre and prison. Large restoration works started in the 1990s. The Arch and Rotunda of Galerius. Byzantine architecture is celebrated in both the Arch of Galerius and the Rotunda bearing the same name. Conceived by the Emperor Galerius, the extensive construction projects were meant to complete his palatial grounds. The Arch, which was completed in the late 3rd century, is triumphal in nature, with a victory over Sassanid forces celebrated on its marble panelling, while the Rotunda, which followed a few years later, was reminiscent of the Pantheon of Rome, with an open oculus at its centre. Converted to a Christian church by Theodosius, Ottoman forces used the building as a mosque until the Balkan War. A truly fascinating part of the city. The Roman Forum. Tourists and locals get an up-close and personal view of Roman life in the Roman Forum. Found by accident in the 1960s, the ruins here include Stoa, a Roman bath complex, and a theatre. A museum on the site displays finds from the area. If you're enjoying this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel below. Aristotle Square, an important and popular meeting place for Greeks. Aristotle Square took shape largely in 1950, when architectural designs from the early 1900s were put into place. Today, the square holds major celebrations and is also invariably used for political rallies and demonstrations. The Olympian Theatre and an upmarket hotel are main features of this remarkable space. Pella, capital of the Greek kingdom of Macedon and birthplace of both Philip II and his son Alexander the Great. A trip to Pella is a must for any lover of history. While the site fell from prominence by the 4th century, the site today is known for its extensive tombs and their grave goods, with bronze weaponry and jewellery among the finds. The palace, which commands the city from the north, can also be visited, along with the site of the agora and public baths. The Waterfront. There's plenty of things to do and see alongside the recently expanded and renovated waterfront. Spanning over 5 kilometres, tourists pass the concert hall, public art installations and museums, bars and restaurants, a fine statue of Alexander the Great, and both the White Tower and Aristotle Square, all while looking over the Macedonian Gulf and catching some sun. Museums of Thessaloniki. You'll be spoilt for choice when finding museums to visit in this city. The Archaeological Museum is most popular, tracking the amazing history of this ancient city. The Museum of Byzantine Culture is also close by. There's also the Ataturk Museum, with the leader of the Turkish Republic being born in the city. Guided tours of the house are available. Bey Hamam. The Baths of Paradise were established in the early 15th century and were the first Ottoman structure of their type in the city. Remarkably, the baths were still in use in the 1900s. UNESCO World Heritage Churches. The city is home to a wonderful array of historic churches. Indeed, some 14 of the churches here make up a World Heritage Site. The Hagios Demetrius is another church of significance, dating well back towards the 5th century. That concludes this edition of Great City Attractions. Subscribe to the channel. What's your favourite place to visit in this great city? Comment below.